Okay, so Module 17 is going to be all about age structure diagrams and total fertility rates. And so we are going to watch a video about the human population size from sort of when we started recording age history or population estimates that scientists have come up with based on how many people we predict were on the world or on the planet, I mean, at a certain time. And then we'll see what's happened since the Industrial Revolution, and that when that came on the scene, then the population the humans sort of exploded on the planet. So make sure that you pay attention to that video. That's going to drive home an important point that's being captured here in this first section of Module 17. And then we do realize that there's many factors that drive human population change. And so make sure that you read through those, okay? We're going to be most concerned with the births, the deaths, and the migration that occur, especially in terms of calculations. That's something that you need to be able to understand. So make sure that you understand that. And so all of these terms, again, I'll just kind of point out, are important throughout this unit as well. Make sure that you understand the difference between birth rate and crude birth rate, and then death rate and crude death rate, and understand what those differences are exactly. And then also know this equation. Now in the book, they give you a couple of different equations that you need to know. The equation that I'm going to tell you to know, and then it'll be easy to sort of figure out what to do and what numbers to plug in, is essentially going to be that growth rate is equal to population change divided by the total population times 100, and that'll give us our percentage of growth for whatever population it is that we're looking at. And so if you just know that basic equation, all of these other equations sort of make sense, and then we will practice that in class as well. Let's see. Life expectancy, you should understand the general trends when it comes, like when they're talking about anything to do with human population, you should understand the trends throughout different areas of the world. So whether that's a developing country a developing country or a developed country. Europe is developed as well. So you should understand those general trends throughout different areas, okay? Especially know those differences between developed and developing countries. You should also understand the infant mortality rates, again, the trend in general between developed and developing countries. And so understand that as well. Then as we move on, you should also understand what an age structure diagram is. Sometimes we call those population pyramids or population diagrams. You should be able to tell me when you look at this image what is happening in each of these populations. So, which country is experiencing fast growth, which country is experiencing decline, which country is sort of stable with their population growth. You should be able to interpret that just by looking at the image. And then you should also understand what is shown on the population age structures, those diagrams, or the population pyramids. So make sure that you understand all of that. So again, read through this to be able to figure that out. A key point with the end of this module is that age when having the first child and access to family planning influences the total fertility rate. The other thing that influences total fertility rate for a woman is education level. And so we'll see that as we move into the demographic transition model later in the unit, but that's something that you also need to understand. And then also I feel like this is another key point, and so make sure that you read about this as well. But the replacement level fertility, or zero population growth, it's sometimes called, is the total fertility rate that leads to a very stable population. Okay, so, and again, that is also referred to as zero population growth, or ZPG. Okay, so that sort of wraps up Module 17. Make sure that you do your reading on that. Make sure you can answer questions surrounding these diagrams, and we will be practicing all of this in class.